Hi, my name is Vena. I'm originally from Rare, but I live in Nandi. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Bula, I'm John from Kornabuan, Tafua. I love listening to Today FM. It rocks.
Bula, I'm Teopola.
Bula, I'm Agnesi.
We love listening to Today FM because it rocks in Ba.
Bula, my name is Tisa. I've been listening to Today FM.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Tonight, Health Ministry defends use of HP vaccine. Nausori Airport runway extension gains traction. And Fisheries Ministry to patrol coastal fishing grounds.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spade.
The Ministry of Health says the human papillomavirus or HPV vaccine is safe and did not cause the death of a 14-year-old girl. The parents of Manjeshni Devi from Savu Savu claim that she died hours after being injected with the vaccine. Maggie Boyle tells us more.
The Ministry of Health today clarified that the HPV vaccination program is safe and will be continued for adolescent girls aged 13 years. Permanent Secretary for Health Philip Davis says the vaccine has been successfully administered to an estimated 6,000 Fijians.
Is that the HPV vaccine is safe. It was tested extensively during its development, and since it was first approved for use in 2006, more than 200 million doses have been administered around the world.
World Health Organization representative Dr. Angela Marianos says they will continue to recommend the HPV vaccine given its thorough testing.
Human papillomavirus causes cervical cancer in females, anogenital cancer in both males and females, and HPV vaccination is the best option to prevent these devastating diseases.
Head of the vaccination program, Dr. Eric Rafai, says any side effects from the HPV vaccine are mild and short-term.
The adverse effects are limited to pain at the site of injections, swelling, which usually subsides following a few hours or some hours of the injection. So there hasn't been any, I can confirm, there hasn't been any serious adverse effects.
The HPV vaccination program is voluntary and requires parental consent before any child is given an injection. Police investigation into the cause of death of the Comendra Central School student is ongoing. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Airports Fiji Limited has confirmed that the extension of the Nausori International Airport will take place next year. This is to accommodate large passenger carriers from overseas. Saniani Boiler reports.
Work at the Nausori International Airport will include refurbishing the terminal, new entry and exit gates for passengers, and the extension of its runway.
Advertisement was to get expression of interest from consultants who will price the job in terms of scoping the job, and then once the job is scoped, then we will go out to construction tender. So the project has already been initiated.
The terminal extension has been in the pipeline for a number of years.
Together with the runway expansion comes the terminal upgrade as well. Actually, it will be a completely brand new terminal. The current terminal at Nausori International Airport is very old.
Development will help in the economy of this country.
It is a good idea. It will create more jobs.
We will develop this Nausori Airport and also the Nausori town, and it is a good idea because it will create employment since these villages and all, they will be able to work here.
One of the causes of the delay was landowners agreeing to give up part of their land. FBC News approached the Nselai landowners this afternoon but were turned away. No one agreed to speak on camera.
Khan says AFL is working on completing the expansion of the Nausori runway before the end of next year and complete the terminal facelift soon after. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
Acting Chief Executive of the Land Transport Authority, Aptinko Varasi, has surrendered his position as the head of LTA. Varasi, who is on the LTA board, had volunteered to run the authority after the resignation of former CEO Naisa Tuinadeva. FBC News has confirmed Varasi has gone back to his board position and a new chief executive is expected to take over in about a month. Monitoring of coastal fishing is a commitment Fiji will focus on before the Oceans Conference in June. Minister for Fisheries Semi Koroilavisau says all nations participating in the conference have pledged to saving the ocean. Savaira Tambua has more.
Oceans monitoring has mostly focused on patrolling the exclusive economic zone, but now the government is also keeping tabs on coastal fishing grounds.
We need to establish an inshore division which will coordinate the activities of all the 4 divisions, the Western, Central, Eastern and Northern. We need to establish that. That will strengthen our ability to monitor and provide surveillance. We will also be able to collect the data that is required.
The Fisheries Ministry will also request additional funding in the next budget to help map out ways of regulating and monitoring activities surrounding the inshore fisheries.
I believe this will be a great help to all of us. Hopefully the ministry will do its best.
Submissions for the Oceans Conference are well in progress.
Fiji in its own submission had submitted that we have about 466 protected areas, reserved areas, where there is a no-take or a period of tambu that we've committed to. And that's basically our angle.
A meeting of Pacific representatives, including Australia and New Zealand, in a few weeks will thresh out issues which need to be tabled at the Ocean Conference. Fiji will co-chair the conference with Sweden. Savaira Tambua, FBC News.
54 serious sexual offences were recorded for the month of February, with 30 people charged. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecution says there were 45 rape offences, 6 attempted rapes and 3 sexual assaults. 24 victims were under 18. In one incident, the accused is a 72-year-old uncle and the victim is his 12-year-old niece. The youngest victim is a 12-year-old and the accused is also 12. Still ahead, Vunda's first 5-star resort under construction and latest phase of Nadi Airport works completed. Stay with us.
कमल रोशनी है, हम लोगों में रहते हैं और मिर्ची एफएम सबसे बेस्ट स्टेशन है।
हमारा नाम मेसी है, हम गोल्ड टाउन तापुआ में रहता है और मिर्ची इज हॉट इन तापुआ।
Hi, we Bagels. We love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
निवेश तमरा में रहता हूँ, सुनता है यहाँ मिर्ची एफएम is very hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
NGOs and small community groups are making recommendations to the village bylaws draft before it's implemented. This is to ensure that it's in line with the laws of the land and the Constitution. Kelly Vadala reports.
Most of the issues surrounding their proposals deal with how women and children might not have a voice at the provincial level.
Any set of bylaws should actually should cover those things that concern and affect the people, and the people have a buy-in, agree with those bylaws.
Fiji Women's Crisis Center Coordinator Shamima Ali says the workshop allows different representatives to share their opinions on the bylaws.
Bylaws actually will be very detrimental to youth and women and other minorities, that we would use this occasion to actually have a conversation with various people. People raise concerns with us.
Many women said being able to make recommendation gives them a chance to voice their experiences.
The young people here feel that when they raise their voices, they're told to keep quiet because they don't know anything. And I think that is wrong. And village bylaws, if it concerns our whole village, should be inclusive.
About 40 representatives from community groups and NGOs attended the 2-day seminar in Suva today. They discussed the issues faced by women and children within their villages and how the bylaws could play a major role in eliminating them. Kelly Patvala, FBC News.
A new establishment under construction in Nadi aims to be the first 5-star resort in Vunda. The beachside resort is owned by Chinusamy Mohan, a businessman from India, who says there is enormous potential in Fiji's tourism sector. Ellen Stahls has the story.
Fiji's booming tourism industry is what caught this couple's eye and their hearts when they decided to purchase this piece of land in Vunda 10 years ago. Since then, they have invested close to $57 million.
500 people capacity function center. Then we are planning to make 4 blocks and double-story building. That's about 64 rooms. That's our 4th stage. And then 5th stage and the bungalows, 2-story bungalows. And then 2018 we are planning to go to the sea. And we are planning to make 60 overwater villas.
The hotel is named after his wife, Nila Mohan, who was born and bred in Nandi. She says it was always their dream to settle in Fiji and open a business like this.
I think of the tourism growing in Fiji. That is another we are very optimistic about that also. Okay, yeah, this will work out very well. But it took a lot of time.
The first stage saw the completion of their fully functional restaurant, a swimming pool, and while the second stage will see the construction of 22 villas, with a grand opening being planned for next month.
The resort will be developed in stages, and Mohan says one of these stages will see beachside bungalows developed near the ocean. In total, around 300 Fijians will be employed by this proposed 5-star resort.
The resort will have 212 rooms and should be completed in the next 3 years. Ellen Stahls, FBC News.
The new departure drop-off zone at the Nandi International Airport will be unveiled to the media tomorrow. It's the latest phase of the renovation work to be completed and open to traffic this morning. Airports Fiji Limited Chief Executive Faiz Khan says the drop-off area was one of the most challenging for AFL.
It's one of the most, I guess, the biggest achievement so far, because it's not easy to do these projects, and it's, as you've seen with the presentation that was done earlier, there's so many challenges, and so it is a struggle, but as of this morning we have something to celebrate.
The Fiji Police Force has commenced a driver training course to increase the number of authorised drivers and officers at police stations across the country. The training began today for 30 officers in the Western Division from Singatoka to Ba. They received training from LTA personnel who advised them on the road safety rules and other traffic-related issues they face while on the job. Police Director of Traffic Senior Superintendent of Police Mahesh Mishra opened the training session this morning in Lautoka. He says it aims to boost productivity within the force.
Continue as per Commissioner's directive that the more officers can be trained and authorized to drive police vehicle in order to see that we have enough drivers, authorized drivers in the police station. So we'll be moving to Southern Division and Northern Division and Eastern Division respectively, but this is where we start.
Rachel is here now with the very latest from the world of business.
Good evening. In our business segment tonight, shipping company marks 25 years of growth. And in growing Fiji, local beauty products makes inroads into Hong Kong.
And later on in sports with Jamie, the Fiji Sevens team reflects on the history of Las Vegas.
na Radio Fiji One. Bulan arango pina mai koradiri Nandi, auto talitaka na barongo na Radio Fiji One na programa ni mas-masu na mataklailai.
Oya ochone kurinambila mai bunangoru na makete hinga toka kwe do talitakina na barongo na Radio Fiji One gina na domo iviti.
Na Radio Fiji One na domo iviti na bonga ni BNN.
In business tonight, locally owned Shipping Services Limited has extended operations by opening Oceania Logistics today. Managing Director Bernard Hong Tai says this is a milestone for the company, as today also marks 25 years of operation. Shipping Services Limited opened more than 2 decades ago as a family-operated business. And with the opening of Oceania Logistics, now boasts 4 different revenue streams.
Invested, you could probably say about $500,000 in that business, in the startup of that business. Oceania Logistics has taken that on in terms of It's a neutral provider of logistic services. It can provide logistic services to any freight forwarder.
The company is also expanding office space by opening a $2 million investment building this evening. Longtime partners believe the company has great opportunities for growth.
The representation that shipping services provide for us in Fiji is we're very proud of. And we're very proud of the way they represent our company and how they promote our name in the market.
Shipping Services plans to extend service across Fiji in the near future. There were some interesting movements noted on the world stock markets. Elizabeth from HFC Bank brings us the update.
Yes, Rachel. Wall Street again hit new records yesterday. Bank stocks helped lift the Dow Jones Industrial Average about 21,000 for the first time, and the S&P 500 also hit record highs, reaching 2,398.96. The impetus was President Donald Trump's speech yesterday. He pledged to deliver massive tax relief to the middle class and corporate tax cuts, spend heavily on infrastructure and to ease regulations. However, Trump failed to deliver on how the administration plans to pay for its promises. Meanwhile, comments from Federal Reserve officials William Dudley and John Williams helped lift the US dollar and significantly increased the probability of a rate hike later this month. This in turn had the effect of helping weaken the New Zealand dollar, but the Australian dollar continued to rise despite the US dollar also moving higher. Our Fijian dollar weakened against the US dollar today as well. And back to you, Rachel.
Thanks, Elizabeth. On to today's exchange rates. A contrast between the Chinese yuan and the American dollar, as the yuan rose to close at 3.26, while the US dollar dropped to close at 74 cents. The Australian dollar dropped to close at 61 cents, while the New Zealand dollar rose, closing at 65 cents. Meanwhile, the PNG Kina went down to close at $1.32. On to the commodities market. Oil went up slightly to close at $53.90 a barrel. Gold dropped, closing at $1,240 an ounce, and silver rose to close at $18.43 an ounce. In Growing Fiji tonight, Organic Earth Fiji, the manufacturing arm of Natural Fiji, is taking their business further onto the international stage. This is after the company signed sales rights for the Hong Kong market. The Natural Fiji products are sold to the Australian, New Zealand, Taiwan, Malaysian and South Pacific market. Now they'll be available in Hong Kong as well.
We are now looking at Americas, and we're also looking at the Europe, Middle East. So now is the time for us to leap into overseas markets and not to worry about the production.
The Fijian-made certified products are manufactured in Vatuanga, Suva. The company also commissioned 3 new packaging machines yesterday.
I hope to see more women venturing into the world of business in Fiji, as our government understands that investing in women's economic empowerment sets a direct path towards gender equality.
The new equipment was bought with an $85,000 grant under the government's National Export Strategy. And that's it from Business Sports now, and here's Jamie with the latest.
Bulavinaka, I'm Anare Sorbakura of Nayabu Wenabuga Telebu. Whenever I want to tune in to listen to great music, I always tune in to my favorite radio station, Gold FM, only the classic.
My name is Lita. We love listening to Gold FM here at the Fiji Hideaway Resort and Spa. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
We here at Kano Waterfront Lautoka love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
With a few days away from the start of the Las Vegas Sevens, we take a look back at last year's tournament where Fiji won an epic final against Australia, coming back from a 15-0 deficit to win 21-15. Vaishnav Prasad has more.
We want to improve on, but again, keeping what we're good at, have our set piece, scrum and line out.
The Telecom Fijiana 7th side is targeting another top 4 finish as they round up its preparations for the Las Vegas tournament. Meanwhile, Women's 7 Series leaders New Zealand are in Las Vegas to defend their title they won last year. The Telecom Fiji Warriors are gearing up for their opening match of the Pacific Rugby Challenge next weekend. Players in the squad had one last opportunity to impress selectors at training today as coach Senirusi Serubakula will announce his final squad tomorrow. Melitavanga reports.
The determined look of the players today showed how much they want to impress the selectors.
So what we're looking at is what they can offer into the team and their skill level, and we've been monitoring them through their attendance in their daily training, and those are all the things that we'll be looking at into selecting a player.
Warriors coach Senirusi Serubakula says it's important for players to show what they've got on the field.
Step up, and all of them, they want to represent the Fiji Warriors for the PRC. So we'll be picking the best of the local boys in our local competition.
Vodafone Flying Fijians coach John McKee will be hunting talent next week when the Warriors compete in the PRC.
Always watching this group to look at their players who've got the potential to step up to the Flying Fijians. You know, already there's a number in that group had experience over June of last year and in the November tour. So I'm looking for really good performances from those players.
McKee says he will be keeping an eye on the players as to how they train, how they are in the team environment, and how they play in the opening game. Melitavanga, FBC Sports.
The Bar football side edged Cook Islands Puekura FC 1-0 to keep its semi-finals hopes alive at the OFC Champions League in New Caledonia. Saulo Wanga saved the day for the men in black, scoring the winner in the 81st minute.
Bar now needs a win against Team Wellington in its last pool match to qualify for the semi-finals. The team is aware that they won't be getting too many chances against the New Zealand-based side and will need to make the most of chances in front of goal.
The Fiji Women in Sports Commission is looking forward to a busy 2017 season. The Commission today held a luncheon for disabled female athletes in the country. Commission Chair Susie Yee says women have come a long way in sports over the past 10 years.
We don't only get more women involved in sport, also in administration. And we've seen the growth of that over the years. You know, we now have women who are chef de missions. We have women who are managers, coaches of different sports. Yes, definitely, we have seen an increase.
And now to our play of the day. The New Zealand cricket side beat South Africa to level the one-day international series at 2-2 in Hamilton last night. And it was the Black Caps' master blaster Martin Guptill's record-breaking performance that led New Zealand to the 7-wicket win, smashing 180 runs off 138 balls.
कमल रोशनी है, हम लोगों में रहते हैं और मिर्ची एफएम सबसे बेस्ट स्टेशन है।
हमारा नाम मेसी है, हम गोल्ड टाउन तापुआ में रहता है और मिर्ची इज हॉट इन तापुआ।
Hi, we Badels. We love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
निवेश तापुआ में रहता हूँ, सुनता है यहाँ मिर्ची एफएम is very hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Two big brands have launched smartphones at the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. So, are you also curious about the upcoming LG G6 and the BlackBerry Key 1? Android Authority has a short hands-on comparison between the two phones. Turn to Angie with the latest in weather.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Most centers woke up to rain this morning and there was some fog around up in the highlands. And just so you know, tables have turned. This rainy wet weather is not going anywhere soon. Now let's see what the situation was like in the west. It was cloudy with temperatures in the low 30s. More showers are likely for tonight. Eastwards from Pek Habirasuva, the day was quite dull with few showers and more is expected for tonight. And up in Vanuatu, it was cloudy with Lambasa hitting 33 degrees, while Sabu Sabu was mild at 30. Tomorrow, yes, it's Friday. I know you can feel the excitement, but unfortunately, we can't plan any outdoor activities because it's all showers again. But hey, who says you can't have fun when it's raining? To the temps, Ba, Suva and Lambasa will have lows in the 20s, while Nandi and Lotaka will be warm at 31. Looking further on to Saturday, the current forecast indicates more rain in the Eastern Division. However, rain in the north will ease, so good time to snooze off as temps will be cool and of course there'll be more rain. At sea, east to southeast winds 20 to 25 knots with rough seas. And to the tides, the next high tide tonight is at 9:32 with a low tide tomorrow morning at 3:46. And Jackie, don't you think rain makes everything beautiful?
Absolutely. Thanks so much for that, Angie. Thousands of Catholics are marking the month of Lent. So in our Fijian Pulse segment, we asked some Catholics what they are giving up leading up to Easter.
During this Lent period, I will be eating less food.
I will give up drinking during this Lent period.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, a whiz of a study has determined just how much urine may be in the average public pool, and you're in for a shock. It's more than anyone wants. Recapping the main stories, Health Ministry defends the use of HPV vaccines. LTA Acting Chief Executive Aptinko Varasi surrenders role returning to board post, and Fisheries Ministry to patrol coastal fishing grounds. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question, this week we are asking, are town and city councils doing enough in the fight against dengue fever? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, today's shot of the day, our contributor was Sharun Shah of Nandi. Some say listening to raindrops on the window can be a soothing experience. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. Or you can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. Until next time, from the team and I, good night.
Hi, we are a Smile team of Lotoka. We are a great fan of classic music. That's why we love listening to Gold FM.
Hi, we're from Ba. We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
I'm Moses, Youth Village Handicraft in Nandi. I always listen, all day, every day. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
I'm Wanga. I'm from Bam. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.